G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. And on this video, we're going to be getting stuck into the VL. Alrighty, so I thought I'd do just a bit of a quick rundown on this car. This one's come in for a closed door respray. Now, the original plans for this car were just to tidy up, because obviously there's a budget in place and things like that. But when the car came over, it's come over as a roller, obviously, no engine and box in it. So after a bit of a discussion with the owner, we decided, well, while the motor and box is out, we'd be crazy not to give the engine bay a bit of a freshen up and give it a flick over as well. And as things do, they sort of snowball a little bit. So now we're doing a little bit of smoothing. So we're not going crazy with it. We're not, smoothing absolutely every little imperfection out of it. Obviously, if we're going to go really in depth and spend a lot of time, I probably would have had the engine bay blasted, or I would have bare metaled everything and started from that point on. But being that it's a bit of a budget job as well, so all we're going to do on this one is basically smooth it out from the strut towers forward. So that's as far as the smoothing's going to go. So just when you pop the bonnet from the strut towers forward is going to look nice and smooth and nice and neat, and get all that attention on that RB30 turbo motor that's going to go into this car once it's all finished. So I'm going to flip the camera around anyway and give you a bit of a look at it. It's just in primer at the moment. I've already started this job, but we're about halfway through, so I thought now's probably the best time to start doing a video on it, because if I get too far ahead, well, you guys get to miss out on all that. So I thought I'd start the videos now while we're sort of halfway through, and start showing you guys the process from here on out. So let's have a look at it. Alrighty, so as you can see, it's basically all stripped down. All the front apron is off the car because the guards had a little bit of damage. So up on the wall there, we've got a bit of a selection of guards. So basically I'm going to pick the best two that we have, and we're going to repair them for this car. So the front end's off, bonnet, nose cone, bumper, all that kind of thing, just to give easy access into that engine bay. I'm a bit of a bigger bloke, so I need a bit of room to get me fat ass in there. So I've already primed all the body of the car. It's already done. For a VL, it was actually in pretty good nick, so there wasn't a great deal of body work that really needed to be done on it. It really only had a couple of little trolley dints in each panel. Nothing real serious. The back window channel on this car was actually pretty good. A lot of the VLs now are notorious for rusting this channel out, and even inside the boot lip here. But this car is probably one of the best bodies that I've ever seen on a VL, especially now because, I mean, it's an 86 model, so that's 35 years old. So it's actually been pretty good for us. The roof was pretty good, just a couple of little dings. Same as the boot lid. Just a couple little dings that we fixed up, mainly just above the boot lock here. This back panel, I've still got to rub that and prime that. I didn't bother doing it straight away because once the bumper's on, you don't see it, but we are going to sort that out and get that primed up. So driver's side, again, much like the other side, it's all primed up. Door handle strip, moulds off. Again, it really didn't have a lot of panel damage, so it was fairly easy to get this car straightened up, to be honest. I've done a lot of VLs, and this one's probably been the easiest one that I've done body-wise. We bare metaled all the tops because the paint was a bit thrashed. Same as the roof, we bare metaled the roof and got it all primed up. So the engine bay behind the guards here, basically what we're going to do is we are going to clean all these up. So we'll clean all this dirt and all the old sort of deadener and stuff in there and put nice new fresh stuff in. I'll probably take it up here, and around this part I'll probably do body colour like the car. Not sure yet. Might just do it all black, because I mean it's behind the guard, you don't see any of it. So just to make it look nice and fresh, we'll blacken that out. But so yeah, engine bay. As I said, we're not going too crazy with this. It's basically going to be from the strut tails forward are going to be smooth. We didn't smooth these only because it is getting all the factory turbo stuff put in it. So it's going to get the factory airbox put back in there. So I didn't want to go cutting all these out for starters when the airbox sits there and you're not going to see it anyway. And the owner was quite happy to leave them there and do it that way. Strut tails, early Commodores, as you know, if you know your early Commodores, they've got a couple of bumps here, so we smoothed those out and got rid of those. The sealer all around the strut towers, I've cleaned all that out, because as you know, with really all the early Commodores, the factory for some reason love to absolutely butcher the sealer job on these. So it just looks like a mess from the factory. So we've cleaned all that out. And basically what the plan is, once the engine bay is in primer and ready to paint, I will go ahead and I'll wipe sealer in here nice and smooth the best I can. And that's going to be it. So obviously the battery tray's been taken out. Battery's going down the back in the boot. The little indentation here is gone. We've left this one for the washer bottle, because that's where the washer bottle mounts to. So we've chose to leave that there. So obviously then we can bolt the washer bottle down. Fuse box obviously is up the back corner there. That's getting thrown in the glove box. So that's been removed. The bracket, we got rid of the bracket and welded up the hole that the wiring comes through for the fuse box. So that's gone. So yeah, that's basically it. So today's plan is to get in here and do a bit more work and get that little bit much closer to paint. So let's get into it. Alright, so all I'm doing here to prep this engine bay for primer is I've got my red Scotch-Brite and I've also got some 240 grit sandpaper there. All I'm doing here is taking all the shine off the old paint. The bits of primer that you can see there, that's just a thin coat of epoxy primer, so that'll get scuffed as well. That's only there to protect the repairs and the bare metal. So it's all going to get scuffed before primer. That way your primer has something to stick to. So I'll flip the camera around and I'll just give you a bit of a look at what you're trying to achieve when you're doing this. All right, so basically all you're trying to do, so as you can see, this strut tower here, I haven't really rubbed this. You can see from the reflection of the light that it's still shiny. So basically all you're trying to do is turn that to that. Okay, that's all you're doing. Just take the shine off it. Little bits of bare metal like this, don't stress, because you're going to prime it anyway. Unless you're going to rub and you're going to get, you know, big spots of bare metal like that, you don't need an epoxy primer or an etch primer. You know, anything sort of bigger than, I would say, an inch, then you would want some epoxy or etch primer on there before you put the primer on, because unless it's a director metal primer, you know, if it's not shiny or you've got big hunks of bare metal showing, unfortunately, your paint is not going to stick to it. Okay, so that's all we're doing. Just get in there, give it a good rub. You know, don't be scared. You know, the better you do it, the better the job is going to be. You know, that's basically what you're trying to achieve. Okay, just be very thorough when you do it. That's probably the best bit of advice. You know, the longer you spend and the better you get it. You know, and it's security as well. You know your paint's not going to fall off. So, you know, something like this. You know, look, I'm not going to get this whole thing done in this video. I just wanted to kick things off, but at least we'll make a start and get it there. This side, I've nearly got this side done. So, as you can see, it's not shiny. I've scuffed all that epoxy primer. The only thing I've got to do is down here along that rail. And then we'll move on to the firewall. I've got to tidy that up because that's got a bit butchered when we were pulling the rubber out, the grommet. So, yeah, so that's all you're trying to do. Take the shine off, give the primer something to stick to. Alrighty, so that's this side done. I haven't done the side of the rail there, but I will get that done. I just don't want to bore everyone to death with, you know, filming me in here scratching around. So I thought I'd pull the pin there, but that's basically what you're after. All the shine off, it's all scuffed, everything like that. That's really all you're after. So I'll come here on the weekend and get stuck into the rest and hopefully get all the rest of it done. I'm not sure if I'll film the whole lot. I might film it, but I'll keep it short and sweet so I don't bore you all to death. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I know it wasn't too exciting, but if you're building a car or you want to have a crack on your own car at home, this is the sort of stuff you're going to be doing. So it's not exciting, but it's got to be done. So I'll leave it at that, and I hope you've enjoyed it. If you just want to stick around and see the rest of the build on this car or the rest of the respray on this car, hit subscribe, give me a like if you enjoyed it, and leave me a comment down there if you've got any questions or thoughts, anything at all. Leave it down there, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.